And so this is the issue I think that so many people have is the story of their lives is so singular. My life should be this way, this version, these should be the circumstances and outcomes. And this is what holds people back because they're so rigid on, and when unexpected, unwanted things happen, they can't handle it emotionally. And so if inner excellence is about expanding what you believe is possible, continually expanding what you believe is possible, letting go of your story, letting go of who you've been so you can become someone you've never been before. And when we hold on to our past and hold on to our story, then we can't do that.
We're storytelling animals. We're all walking around with a story in our head that we believe to be true and are blind to the fact that it was unconsciously crafted based upon the experiences that we've had. And whether it's positive or negative, it's still a fantasy. And it's detached from reality. And in most cases, with most people, to your point, it prevents us from having a more expansive understanding of what we're capable of or what's possible. But like unraveling that and figuring out how to tell a new story is a very difficult challenge.
And you know what happened to you is you had to come to the edge of yourself to be able to write a new story, to create a new narrative in your life, right? These new neural pathways. Is that right?
Yeah, but it was a function of being backed into a corner. Like pain is the ultimate like lever for these sorts of things. Like short of suffering some form of crisis, whether it's physical or existential, would I have made those changes? It's interesting because, and I say this all the time, like we have the choice to make these changes at any given moment. It's just that it's very difficult to do unless you're pressured into it in some way. And the way I generally think about it is the moment of change is when the pain of your circumstances exceeds the fear of doing something different, right? You have to confront that fear, or these fears are in tension with each other, and which one is winning out is kind of going to dictate how you behave on some level. It's this discomfort with uncertainty that we have. Like we don't like it, and we delude ourselves into believing that we're in control of things. And if something goes wrong, like we didn't do something right. And I think disabusing ourselves of that illusion of control and acknowledging that uncertainty is just, that's just the landscape. Everything is uncertain. It's never going to change in that regard, so that you can detach a little bit and free yourself from self-judgment or all of the unnecessary pain that comes with things not working out the way you would like them to.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? One of the things that's such an important topic, I think now in America, there's so much, and around the world, anxiety and fear and tension and so much out of our control. And there's a lot of people that are watching to this now, and I think that have this anxiety and this unknown, what's going to happen. And I think there's some really powerful things that they can do when you're afraid of the future, or whether you're a pro athlete or anyone. And there's some questions. You want me to share those with you?
Yeah, please.
Well, the first question is, are you willing to face your fears? And we can get into also, because I went through a very traumatic moment as well, and I've kind of prayed a lot that that myself and people that I love don't have to get to the point where we get to that major trauma to fully surrender, which is the power, right, in AA, and the power that you talk about and the power that I talk about, this surrender to a power greater than yourself. And so first asking yourself, am I willing to face my fears? And then, am I willing to face any feeling? This is a big one, because most people are not willing to face any feeling. They're willing to physically do a lot of hard things, but there's some feelings that we're like, no, I'm not gonna. If that comes, that's the worst. I'm not gonna be there. I'm gonna run from it, whatever. But if you're willing to face any feeling, now you've got some control and some power.
So what is the process of doing that? Like summoning the courage to face that? Is there like something that you have learned or divined that is a practice to cultivating that disposition?
Well, I can tell you about this experience I had with some pro athletes that had a mental block. So that when you have a mental block, then you're constantly think about it all day long, and it could have ended their careers. And so I worked with these pro athletes, and when you have this fear, starts with a feeling. It's like a panic attack. Starts with a feeling, and then it goes into out of control, right? And so the feeling is what we want to. We're going to go look for that feeling, and I got that from Conor McGregor. He talked about when he was first a new pro athlete, and how he got into the ring or the octagon, and he had all these nerves. He's like, "What is this feeling? This is so uncomfortable." And then he started to go and look for it. He's like, "Now I go into Madison Square Garden and I kick butt." So I was like, yeah, we need to go look for the feel. We can't run from them. We got to look for those feelings that we're afraid of, because that's our teacher. Because when you come to the edge of your feelings, where you're most uncomfortable, that's where you can grow, and that's where you can become someone you've never been before. And that's the limiter. We come to these feelings. We're like, no, I don't want that feeling. And so, are you willing to face those feelings? So I asked them. I want you to, one, you're going to look for that feeling. You're going to embrace it. And the way you're going to do it is say, am I willing to face my fears today? Am I willing to face any feeling? And am I willing to have any feeling, even if it doesn't go away? And then I gave them some mantras, which is a phrase that you repeat over and over in your head to use as a tool if they want. And in the moment when they're really, really uncomfortable, you can use a mantra. And some breathing. There's another one that I'll tell you about, is mastering the ego. So I think this is such a big part of the rich role, what you share with the world, and this surrender and mastering the ego, because it's such a big part of the 12-step process. And one of the things that I'll tell you this story first about, I had a pro PGA Tour golfer. He's in the playoffs, and it's a practice round, and he's got they're playing $100 a birdie, and so when the other guy makes a birdie, you pay him $100. And so first two holes, they both birdied the first two holes. Now he's down $400, and these are guys that are up and comers and like getting all the attention, and he's kind of a little more of a veteran, and so he's a little bit like, I gotta get these guys, and. Hole 3, he has a short birdie putt, and none of the other guys had a birdie putt. And he missed it, and he said he was nervous. And I said, you missed that because of your ego. He's like, what do you mean? I said, would you have missed that on your home course playing by yourself? He's like, no, probably not. I said, well, you were thinking about them. You did not want to miss in front of them, and you really wanted to beat them. It was really this self-conscious concern for self issue, right? And so I said, when I have that, because we all have an ego, I define ego as the part of your mind that's always threatened, always comparing, and never satisfied. When I have that, and I love to golf, so say I have a 5-foot putt and I'm really nervous, I got a great approach shot, one of the fun few ones, and I really want to make it. So then you can ask yourself, what do I want more in this moment? To be successful in this moment, or to master my ego? Because obviously you want to be successful in the moment, but what do you want more? Do you want to keep having these moments where you're stressed out and anxious and wonder what people will think? Well, any wise person would say, well, yeah, I do want to be successful here, but what I want even more is not to keep having this anxiety and fear. And so if you want that more, then we know, well, two things. No, we know that you don't know what the best thing for you is outcome-wise. Is it to get what you want or not? We never know outcome-wise. Is it the best thing for me? Rory wins the 2025 Masters. Was that the best thing for him and his family? Who knows? All we know is that he really wanted to. And so understanding that we don't know what's best for us outcome-wise, because that should help you stay present, which is the key. And then 2 is to understand that if I don't get what I want, now I get a chance to come to the edge of my feelings, to expand what I believe is possible, to master my ego by embracing this moment.
So either way, you win.
Yeah.